everyone, and welcome to Elite Full Restore, your Pokemon podcast that updates sometimes. My name's Matt.
My name's Aury. We do update sometimes. Like, we almost got bi-weekly this time.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me.
Oh, I
Put
knew
your head
you
to
were
the
gonna
side
do
instead
that.
of me.
As soon as you paused.
And we have a guest this week.
Well, thanks for joining us. That's the end of the podcast, actually.
Anyway, Zane, you can introduce yourself.
Oh, hey, I'm Zane, also known as Ipengu or Elemental Penguin. I don't know, I know Matt from a fake Pokemon website a long time ago. That's it.
How do you know me?
I don't fucking know you at all. Who the fuck? What is this podcast about, by the way? Where am I?
It's about League of Legends. So what are your thoughts on the Karma nerf?
Did they really nerf Karma? I don't know.
Yeah, her E's down. We're not talking about this.
Let's call
That is-
let's call Patrick back in.
Let's
yeah,
formulate it.
give Pat a quick call. Oh god, that would be my worst
Jesus.
nightmare.
Anyways,
That is-
I know Zane from Pokemon Factory, which is one of the oldest Pokemon fan websites that exist on the web, and is
Yeah.
definitely, absolutely the oldest repository of Fakemon that exists online. Mm-hmm. And, well, I mean, other than, like, people's DeviantArt pages and whatnot, but even then, that DeviantArt's, like, early 2000s, and Pokemon Factory's been around since, like, 97. Which is, like, it's an outrageously long time for a website to exist.
It used to be like a real, pinnacle of Pokemon fan site, whatever, and now it's just, it's dead, so that's one thing.
Rob's working on another relaunch, but
Right,
it's
yeah.
relaunched a lot of times.
Yes, it has. It seems to come back from the dead over and over again.
Did I ever tell you guys what my first Pokemon forum was?
What was it?
It was actually like a Lost forum website where we talked about it was in the middle of like season 3, and we discussed our theories and team built. And it was quite a haven of information, I'll say that.
There we go.
Pokemon Factory wasn't actually even my my first Pokemon forum.
No? Where did you start out?
My first Pokemon forum was a website called Dragonair's Den. It was a Pokemon RPing website, like open RP on forums.
It was called Dragonair's Den?
Dragonair's Den, yeah, because it was like, instead of gym leaders, there were like elemental Dragonair spirits for every type.
That sounds like outrageously close to, but not quite Dragonfly Cave, which was one of my first sites I was on.
Yeah, that was also one of my... But I never participated in the forums on Dragonfly Cave.
No, I just kind of knew... I knew Dragonfree because she was a contributor to Pokemon Treasures, which was the fan game I was a part of, for like several years, along with our mutual friend Rob, who is also of Pokemon Factory fame.
Right, because Pokemon Treasures was an affiliate of Pokemon Factory.
Yeah, remember when affiliates were a thing on the web? That was always fun.
Because it was how you, like, made traffic flow to your website from other websites. You're like, hey, Dragonfree, please add me to your website so other people will come and visit it at some point.
Well, with Dragonfree specifically, 3 of her Pokemon were part of Pokemon Factory, ones that feature heavily in her still-running fanfic, The Quest for the Legends.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the newest Pokemon Factory relaunch might actually be pretty decent, because Rob's building a Pokemon Showdown server for battling Fakemon on.
Yeah, I'm like nebulously involved with that, but because I never have any motivation to help out ever, I just like clap for them as they.
Yeah, I'm
things.
probably gonna help with data entry on that one, just because I've always wanted to make a Pokemon Showdown server for battling Fakemon on, but I could never figure it out, and no one would ever help me.
Yeah.
So I'm glad Rob's just doing it himself, and then I can offer a hand.
Yeah, actually,
Hey, Zane, quick question. Did find that Dragonair's Den website. If you could just take a quick look at the member list for me, would you be the individual referred to as Goth Girl, or was it Petty? Because as of right now, I can't really decide which one it was.
I don't know, but I see you right there in the blue, Aury, Doomsday Shadow with every other letter capitalized.
That's correct,
you, right?
yes.
Yeah.
There's an underscore separating the words, and I had to make sure that every other letter was capitalized. Because, that's just how I roll. I only have one post, but I did join a few days before Halloween, because that's when my mother let me on the computer.
In 2004. Only on Halloween, yeah.
That's correct, yes. She called it Satan's Day, and that was the only day we were allowed on the computer because computers were from the devil.
Speaking of Satan's Day, have you clicked on your old profile, Doomsday Shadow's profile, Aury?
Oh, it's been a while. Let me take a quick look here. Oh, D12, DeWeasel, and Linkin Park rules. The darkness will engulf you. The war is getting started. And then it's my name again at the bottom of the signature in case you weren't sure who's posting.
Yeah, and then the avatar is just a red hell skull.
Yeah,
I think my favorite part about this is that it's on an Envision-free board, which, like, that's such a marker of old internet right there.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually the second Dragonair's Den. There are 2 Envision-free boards, both named Dragonair's Den. It took me a minute to...
Pokemon Factory was on an EZBoard, of course.
Yeah, Yuku. Shoutouts to Yuku.
Well,
actually, no. Call out Yuku. Fuck Yuku. That forum was awful.
It's so bad. I feel like we should just migrate Pokemon Factory to a Discord, like everything else I've done.
Yeah, right now they're in Telegram, and that's something.
They're
it's
single-handedly keeping Western Union in business.
Basically. Hey, let's get into the things we have planned for this episode. Let's see what we got here. Patch 1.1 is out, the first patch for Pokemon Sun and Moon. It fixes the glitch with Parting Shot and Memento. Their Z moves would desync the game when used in Wi-Fi battles. Essentially, the Z Parting Shot, and Z Memento are still banned till the end of the current season, which I think ends at the end of this month. It also fixes the evolution move glitch that we only got around to talking about last week, where Kadabra would not learn Confusion upon evolution because of a weird glitch. So that's fixed now.
Yeah, that was truly infuriating. I had to recommend to my 7-year-old brother, who I bought the game for Christmas. He was like, I finally caught an Abra, and I was like, you're not going to want to use that, bud.
Yeah, just using a Alolan Raichu instead.
Yeah, which is what he ended up doing.
There we go. All solved. So, do you guys have any thoughts about the Smogon OU release?
Just very briefly looking through this, because as usual, I haven't looked at our research document until we literally started
right
recording. Now. Yeah. Still very... Okay, I'm just going to rattle off the Pokemon that are in Uber right now, that are not legendaries. Aegislash, which we've talked about before. Blaziken is still Uber, which makes no fucking sense.
It was quick banned. It was there right away as they started. I cannot believe it's still there.
It's incredible. Mega Gengar I kind of get, but it's still stupid.
Mega Gengar is not fun to play against, even if it's not overpowered.
It's not, but it's just... I just don't know. I don't believe in that type of thing. Kangaskhan Mega, which isn't as good in the current metagame, so I don't understand why that's still banned. Landorus is banned.
Well, just remember that these tiers are still set all around... the tiers are still set around singles, right? Well, it's still around singles, too.
Yeah, it's set around singles. They suspect tested Landorus. I haven't played anything because I've just been focusing on like getting my shiny charm, which is hell. But I haven't played competitive at all, but I've been following the posts and stuff. So Landorus and Landorus Therian were both like actually in OU, and then they suspect tested them. So
it was only the
incarnate
the incarnate form that was banned. Yeah.
Yeah, Therian is still OU.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the...
Magearna's an OU, which is super weird, because Magearna can, like, completely destroy ass if it needs to.
Yeah.
It looks like they're... No, I see. Landorus is still undergoing...
Oh, is it? Okay, there we go. So
it's banned while it's being tested.
That's usually how they do it. I'm just not used to seeing things in process. But, like, out of things that are in OU that are new, we go over that pretty quickly. I can just start at the top here. We have Buzzswole, Celesteela, like pretty much all the Ultra Beasts are in here in some form. Alolan Dugtrio's in there, like regular Dugtrio is, but
your boy Guzzlord isn't there.
Yeah, Guzzlord isn't, and I don't think Kartana is, and Xurkitree is. Yeah, they pretty much all are except for Guzzlord. That's neat.
Yeah.
Out of new stuff, there's Toxapex. We got all the Tapus naturally. I don't think any of them are going to hit Ubers. Like, Lele might, because it's stupid strong. Might.
Yeah, Lele is the one where it can, like, pull its own really well, too, in addition to having a stupid ability.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Finny
the main
is kind of surprising to me because it didn't get a ton of usage, but I guess it's probably more useful in singles.
In singles, it's
Yeah.
more useful because priority is more useful in singles in a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
ways.
And well, the big thing is that the largest counter to the Tapus are strong poison moves, and Tapu Lele can wreck their ass with a psychic move. So
That's a good point.
I love that Tangrowth is OU. I didn't realize that he was OU last gen until I looked it up. I love Tangrowth. It's cute, and thus I'm happy about it.
Yeah, I love Tangrowth.
Pelipper made OU this gen on the power of having Drizzle now. Torkoal did not manage the same effect by getting whatever the hell it's
Drought.
called. Drought,
Love
that's
it.
the one.
Well, yeah, and off the back of Pelipper, your favorite melted face dragon, Kingdra, is back in OU.
Yeah, my boy. I'm so happy. I love Kingdra.
The boy with the smolder eyes.
Mimikyu made OU, which is not surprising.
Not at all. Oh my God.
Alolan Muck made it, and I'm surprised. I guess Power of Alchemy is useless in singles anyway.
Yeah.
But
Poison
yeah,
Touch is not, though. That's great to have.
Poison Touch is good, and I think it's buffed. Like all those abilities got buffed.
30%
all the abilities that
Is it a
involve
toxic
contact.
on hit now? Is that how that works?
No, just the percentage chance went up for sure. Because I'm
Yeah, it's
noticing
30%.
it.
Yeah, that's that's really high. Okay.
And then Gluttony is also good because there's the confusion berries can activate at 50% and they heal 50% damage. So anything with Gluttony can use those and heal to full health at 50%. So like Alolan Muck is good for that, and then my extreme speed Gluttony Linoon that I spent hours getting perfect by a lot of soft resetting is going to be good again. Alolan Marowak is in primarily for the power of Lightning Rod. Even though Rockhead Flare Blitz is tempting, Lightning Rod has been far more useful just because of the number of powerful electric types in the meta right now.
Yeah.
Mantine, is just exciting to see on the power of its 20 HP boost and the fact that it finally learns Roost. God damn it, it learns Roost. I'm so
excellent.
happy.
Oh, I love that.
There's a lot of Pokemon in the meta that in OU that I think, like, I love that they're better. It's something that Smogon tries to do with, like, CAP a lot, where they'll be like, what's this type combo that could be good, but no good Pokemon has had it before? So, like, Alolan Muck has Dark Poison, which, you know, like, Aury, you were talking about, like, you wanted Ariados to have that, and, like, only Drapion had it, and it's so good now because it destroys fairy types. Like,
Yeah.
Super good.
So good. And then what
Because
else was
it's neutral to fairy, and it has a psychic immunity, which is usually the secondary fairy that they would use to cover with their poison weakness.
right?
So like, Alolan Muck is a good answer to Tapu Lele, and that's probably
Yeah.
why it's around so much.
Yeah, and then Alolan Marowak too, Fire Ghost, which, you know, we've seen before with Chandelure, but like Alolan Marowak is a completely different beast in that regard. So
Well, especially because it still learns all its good ground moves, which
And
gives
it's
it
still-
extremely good type coverage.
and it's still immune to electric because of Lightning
Yeah.
Rod. Yeah.
Because
So out of
everyone's-
these, which one do you think is the next one to get suspect tested?
Man, I'm surprised Ash Greninja didn't get any better usage. But I mean, I guess you have to kill something first, which makes it annoyingly hard to use. Even though its stats are broken, like they are so good.
Yeah, it's disgustingly good. It has 150 special attack, 153.
Yeah, and then 145 attack, which is still extremely good. Mind you, it doesn't have low kick or gunk shot yet.
The thing that I think would be most likely to get suspect tested would probably be Hoopa Unbound, which I'm surprised is even in OU.
Koopa's one
think
of mine,
it was
yeah.
about to get suspect tested again.
Okay.
Yeah, like it was like they haven't started yet, but I think they were looking at it as well.
I'm
Yeah.
wondering if Mega Sableye's gonna be one of the next ones up, because
Well, yeah,
Magic
'cause-
Bounce in this meta seems really fucking broken, and
Mega
it doesn't look
Sableye
like
was Mega Sableye did hit
getting a
Uber's
lot of
last gen.
usage.
Yeah.
Because they unbanned everything that was in Ubers except for the explicit legendaries. So everything that goes back there will have to be resuspect tested. Because that's what they do every gen.
Yeah, and then I think other than that, there's not really anything I see that would get moved to Ubers. The two Pokemon that people were talking about a lot before the meta developed were Celesteela and Pheromosa. And Pheromosa, just because it's like disgustingly strong and fast, and gets Beast Boost, which is just like, ugh, but it's still so fragile that it dies in one hit. And then Celesteela, actually people weren't talking about it that much, but it can just do everything, and it's so tanky.
It was like
it's
it was
huge
the big
in VGC right now.
Yeah, like the last VGC, which I watched like very religiously this time, did have a lot of Celesteela. It also had a lot more Tapu Fini and Tapu Bulu than Tapu Koko and Tapu Lele, who were predicted to be like the big people this season.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that we're getting some variation there. Which brings us to our next battle season. The next online battle season used for your rankings that you can use to get your invite to Worlds, to get your rank up, is going to have one restricted legend per team and also allow bank Pokemon.
Thank God.
Which, interestingly, it's not just box legends, it's restricted legends. So you're able to use mythicals for like probably the first tournament in like 3 gens. Like they never let you use mythicals, which is really exciting because no one ever gets to use Jirachi, and Jirachi's super good and fun to use.
That's interesting. I wonder what we're gonna. Oh man, that opens up the field quite a bit. Because even if we have stuff like, I mean, would Arceus be allowed in that? Because it's like,
I'll check Sarah B, but just keep talking about other things while I look that up.
That's a good point.
I believe that would be usable since it was in distro and it would be bank enabled. The other thing you might be seeing a lot of is maybe. I would hate to see this because I bitched enough about that meta.
Yeah,
but
you can use
more primal
Arceus
stuff come back. That would be really interesting.
You can use Arceus, and it doesn't say that the primals are banned, so yeah, they're allowed as well.
That's interesting.
But it's only one this time, so you can't do like double primals, primal like Rayquaza.
That seems like more of a what would you call it? That seems like a good middle ground between the two metas. Like you can't centralize around like a big 6 type team if you were to do something like that. So that's super interesting.
Although
I don't know how I feel about that.
I will say that if it's limited to 1, I think what might end up happening is just that you don't see Groudon or Kyogre. Well, Kyogre's still so good, but Groudon I think will be out like pretty much entirely. Because the way Groudon functioned in that VGC meta was that it like relied on having a Xerneas or a Rayquaza to pivot with for Kyogre, because if you bring a Groudon and they bring a Kyogre and you come in at the wrong time, like you're sort of shit out of luck there.
Yeah, that's basically it. I want to just try like if I'm gonna play in that format, I'll probably just use new stuff because I really kind of want to use a Necrozma in battle because I think they're super fun. Because Prism Armor is a fun ability.
Yeah.
And also, it looks cool, and it's definitely getting another form. Like, or can we just like agree on that right now that Necrozma is totally getting another form?
Yeah,
more than likely.
Because like if you rearrange its parts, it kind of makes like a dragon head. So we're gonna get some sick ass cool dragon shit.
Is the Marshadow release going to be at some point before the next season? Because that would be interesting too.
That season, like the special battle seasons, are only ever. This one's running from January 17th, so tomorrow, to March 19th.
Yeah, I guess.
And I doubt it'll be out in that season. I just hope they don't wait as long as they waited for the Mythicals last gen. But I mean, a good sign is that they released Magearna like a second after the game came out.
Yeah, I mean,
just a literal
Spectral
second
Thief
later.
in this meta would just be completely fucky. I'd love to see how it would just.
What does it
everything.
do again?
It essentially bypasses Substitute and it also steals stat boost and then does damage.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That
really crazy.
Could you imagine if you had Spectral Thief in like in the VGC meta that had Xerneas in it?
Oh yeah, like I'm thinking like Geomancy, like Spectral Thief, like
because like stole your Geomancy.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so good.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Have you guys looked into the global missions at all in the game?
Mm-mm.
So basically, Festival Plaza remains a nightmare, just a horrid nightmare that's no fun at all. But one thing that they had was these global missions. So the first one was catch like 10 million Pokemon, and we didn't even break 1 million because basically you had to register your account at PGL and you had to go talk to the person in the Festival Plaza every time you caught anything because the game doesn't it doesn't just register with GameSync. You have to go talk to this lady, which made it way more complicated than it had to be because before any stats that were like globally counted were always just done with GameSync, and GameSync would happen every time you saved when you were connected to the internet when the PSS was a thing. So now, the only time you game sync is when you connect to the internet in Festival Plaza. So basically, no one ever counted anything. The second global mission was Island Scan.
Which was even less likely to happen. Yeah, I saw the missions, but...
We went way further with this one. We broke 600K.
Right.
Really, though, you should always participate in the mission, even if you only catch one thing, because you get a ton of festival coins for it, and those are a pain in the ass to grind for otherwise.
Yeah.
Like, you got, like, 450 this one, and I leveled up, like, 8 times. And, of course, leveling up your Festival Plaza is useful for getting, like, you know, the actually good shops, like, ones they could level up your Pokemon by, like, 8.
Yeah, because you can EV without even fucking turning your game on.
Well, okay, that's Pelago, which we'll get into later. Because I'm going
Yeah.
to talk about how Pelago saved my goddamn life. Oh, my God. I am so in love with it. That was, like, a standing item that I finally have checked out in enough detail to look into. But yeah, with Festival Plaza, it's basically like Join Avenue. Join Avenue in Black 2 and White 2.
I keep confusing. Yeah. I guess.
Join Avenue was how I did all my leveling in those games because, like Gen 7, it had the scaled experience. So, like, if things are lower level than you, then you're getting less experience from them. So, leveling up anything past, like, level 65, which is, like, the highest trainer you ever see in the game, is a chore. The only reason I have anything even close to 100 is, one, a level 100 I got from a Smogon giveaway, because they do those every weekend, and two, my Mudsdale, which is just my standard kill everything guy, because he's so hard to kill by wild Pokemon. So he's like level 90. He's like level 96 now.
Yeah, that's what level... My Metagross is 96 right now, because while I do my 16 runs of the Elite Four every day to train for evolving things, because that's the only way to train in this fucking game, my Metagross just gets all that experience, because Metagross sweeps the Elite Four.
Yeah, I usually try to get a Beware chain going by the Battle Tree. That works pretty well. But the best thing actually to do is to go to the Battle Buffet in the Melee Mall, which only lets you do it once a day, but if you don't finish it, if you just walk out and walk back in, you still have all your experience and you could battle 10 trainers again.
Is that really the best thing to do, though? Because what level are the Battle Tree people?
No, like, outside the Battle Tree, the Battle Buffet, everything is in, like, the late 50s, early...
Sorry, I meant the Battle Buffet. What level are the Battle Buffet people? They're, 65 too, right?
Yeah, but you
then why not just do the Elite Four?
Because they're easier. They're not hard. They're so easy to kill.
Okay, I guess that makes sense, yeah.
Why would it be hard at level 90, though?
Yeah, but... I mean, just in general, it's quicker. You don't have to.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't have to go through credits anymore anyway, which is like the blessing of the Elite Four in this game.
Yeah, that's
they don't make
really
you go
nice.
through credits. You're just at the front door afterwards.
Yeah, it shows the little. It shows the little what's it like, the your team registered in the Hall of Fame thing, and then you're just standing outside and walk back in.
I like that it literally makes the door sound too. It's like, yup, I walked out. I'm done. I really like title defense as a thing though, because like battling the champion every time, and then the champion is always just like the same person that gives you the same dialogue as if it's the first time you're battling them. Kind of got stale after a while.
I will say I've gotten Gladeon like 4 times in a row. And
he just wants to be good. Just wants to be a good boy.
Well, actually, speaking of title defense, have you ever fought that one dude, the dragon type trainer, who's like a rock star?
Yeah, he was the second person I've fought since I started rebattling.
So some people are talking about how he's probably going to be like for people who don't know, there's like this guy who's like, I'm going to be the best rock star in the world, and he uses all dragon type Pokemon, and he looks like an anime character like more than anyone else in Pokemon already is. And like a lot of people think that he's going to be in Stars or whatever the third version will be.
Probably.
Yeah, because he says
Stars.
Superstar.
Is that really
too.
what they think it is?
A lot of people think it's Stars.
Well, that's like a general floating rumor that a couple of people have discussed. But like, rumors also said that Mother 3 would be announced as a launch title for the Switch.
You knew that was a joke, right? Like, there's no, that's never going to happen. I was watching your Twitter feed 2 days ago, and I was just like, you are such a small little child. You know that's not going to happen.
Ori?
Yes?
Fuck you and die.
Well... First of all, okay, here we go.
Well, I mean,
you've already
you're
played
right.
it for one thing. Like, why? It doesn't matter. Like, what?
I just want to play it official. I just
Matt, say it with me. Say it with me.
No. I
Say
refuse. You know I'm not going to.
You have to say it. Say it with me.
There's a 0% chance.
Say it with me.
I'm gonna start talking about Pokemon
bitch.
Go. I'm gonna
And
start
I will
talking about
never
Pokemon Go.
play
I swear
Mother
to God.
3.
I swear to God.
Say it.
Hey,
Oh,
Aury,
God.
you hear about the newest Pokemon Go update? We got a bunch of free incubators. The event will be done by the time we record. Hey, what do you know? That's true. Done. It's done. Pokemon Go is done.
That was it? All right, that was 5
Wow.
seconds. That was
Thank
pretty
God.
good. All right.
Aury
wow.
didn't even get to finish vaping this time.
Yeah.
Well, I always finish vaping.
If you know what they mean.
Nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of garbage Pokemon side games, guess who stopped playing Pokemon Shuffle finally?
Oh.
No way.
I did. I stopped.
I don't believe you. I want to see the logs.
Oh man.
I stopped playing Pokemon Shuffle. I haven't deleted it yet.
Yeah, that's
I
what
haven't
they
gone
all
the
say.
whole way. I'm letting it sit there just in case.
I can
in case
quit
I need to
anytime
go
I
back and
want.
Get my puzzle
I don't
fixed.
need to drink.
I can quit anytime I want. I haven't opened it though.
You know, I had a similar addiction with Pokemon Rumble Blast, where it was literally
God.
just taking over my
Rumble
life.
Blast,
And I was like, actually, I spent an amount of money on that game too, like one I'm not proud to talk about because it was an amount of money, so I can never be proud.
It was greater than 0.
Yeah, it was greater than 0. That's why I'm not proud to talk about it. But then I got everything,
Yeah.
so then I quit because I finished the Pokedex.
Yes, that's the thing about Pokemon Shuffle is that it's constantly updating in a way that like there's no way in hell I could have ever completed it.
Yeah.
Because they started releasing levels in batches of 50, which is unreasonable to keep up with, especially because the levels are progressively harder.
It's
the
like
higher
fucking
you get in
Angry
the
Birds.
depths.
Like, why are you? I still don't fucking understand why you're doing it. It's just a fucking. It's like a shitty game
Well, see, I
engine
like
on
puzzle
top
games,
of just
is
like
the
a
thing.
brand, and it's. I just don't. I hate you so much. Just stop playing it.
Yeah, fuck you,
See,
Matt.
well, okay. The thing is that Pokemon Switch is actually getting Puyo Puyo Tetris as a launch title, and that's too good.
Okay, see, I'll play the shit out of
Yeah.
that.
That's too good. That's two good puzzle
Yeah,
games
that's
combined
fair.
into one. One that I actually spent a considerable amount of money importing for the 3DS, knowing that I would have to struggle with region free to play it.
Oh boy.
But now they're just going to release it for the Switch, and I'm not even mad
Hey, no-
that I paid that money to import
And
it
they're-
because I got to already play it.
And there's no region locking at all.
And the Switch has no
God.
region
The
locking.
Switch has
It
no
only took
region
them
locking.
25 years.
The Switch,
Yeah, God.
yeah, this. Well, no, I mean I don't
The
think
DS
the,
wasn't.
the
I'm
GameCube
wrong.
was region
Okay,
locked.
my
I think
bad.
it was-
Sorry, Reggie.
The
Sorry.
GameCube
Yeah.
wasn't region locked, but yeah,
It's just the last couple that have been,
yeah.
which has been irritating.
Yo, but call out on Miyamoto for leaking all that.
Oh, here they
Yeah,
start.
this is
Here they
this is
begin.
the start of my call-outs. I'm calling out everyone during this episode. I came with a list of notes on who I'm calling out, so this is my first one. Miyamoto, fuck you for leaking all that Pokemon Stars shit, yanking our fucking tonkers, and then not delivering. Because I was
Hot
excited.
take, hot
Hey
take.
Zane. Hey Zane, how was the Melee HD
Oh
presentation
my
at the
god,
Switch
fuck you.
review?
This is my next fucking call out. Sakurai, fuck you, you piece of shit. Although, actually, it's a far more nuanced issue than that. Alright, my other thing, I said I was just some guy Matt knew from the internet. I also play Melee competitively and have
How do you play
commentated it
Melee
in the past.
competitively? Do you play with one hand and jerk it with your other?
No, Ari, I just think that's what you do all day.
Look, that's not
that's
true. That's not a
lame.
lie, so it's fine.
Alright.
Dude, that's what L.
Literally, we talked
is
about
for
that
in
last
the game.
episode. Like, we don't.
Yeah, you talked about that last episode.
You don't think I have experience with that kind of
Oh.
thing? Come on,
Okay.
man.
Okay, but actually, I have a thing to talk about related to this, and it is nebulously Pokemon related to
You know what?
Melee
The
HD.
more nebulous, the
So-
better. We talked about wink shipping for 10 minutes one episode, so it's fine.
Yeah, that was great. I loved that. Basically, so for people who don't know, like, the Melee community was really excited that there was going to be a port of Melee on the Switch because they've talked about how GameCube ports are going to be a thing, and it would be like a good thing because right now we carry around 35-pound CRTs to play our game, and it's awful, and it actually wouldn't solve that. But anyways, people were excited for a Melee port on the Switch. And then after the presentation, this guy named Taffakins, Daniel Lee, calling him out, fuck you, Taffo, posted this fucking thing where it was an image and he said, see anything familiar? And then like top right in parentheses, and it was a screen cap from the stream of the Switch where they were talking about all the games that were getting ported, and in the top right you could see like a little tiny glimpse of the Pokemon Stadium stage from Melee in the Switch thing. And everyone was like, holy shit. And it blew up. It got like literally 1,000 retweets within 5 minutes, tons of likes. And then 6 minutes later, Tafo posts and he's like, fuck, it's fake.
Okay, Zane, here's a legitimate
like,
question. Which would be worse? If they built up, they were going to do a Smash Bros. Remaster on the Switch, and it ended up being Smash 4 remastered for the Switch? Or
well, I mean, that's definitely happening. That's definitely happening.
If it was a Melee HD remaster, but it was frame lagged and you couldn't fix it.
Oh, the Melee HD thing by far. I love Smash 4. Like, I don't play it competitively, but I think it's a chill game. You're not going to get any Smash 4 hate from me. If Melee HD frame lagged, then it would just be, like, worse than
What's
nothing.
The point?
Yeah. And, I mean, this is one of the things... I mean, this is one of the things people have talked about, not to make it a Smash Bros. Podcast.
It's fine.
But like, it's probably not... If they do a Melee HD remaster on the Switch, which they might still do, it's probably going to be a super divisive thing anyways, because first of all, it's probably not going to fix frame rate issues, because that doesn't really have to do with it being made for the GameCube. It has to do with how it's programmed and how HD TVs work versus CRTs. Yeah, so it's like gonna lag no matter what. And secondly, to think that they can port the engine perfectly, which is what fucking annoying Melee purists such as myself would want, is, like, that's not going to happen. So...
No, it just wouldn't work.
Yeah, so Melee HD would probably tear the community apart and kill us. Especially because I'm sure Nintendo would, like, want us to play it that way, because they have not been good with regards to the Smash community, so...
Well, they're slightly better than they used to be.
They are slightly better than they used to be, but there's still a bunch of... I mean, I don't know if we can talk about the banned game, Project M.
Rest in peace, Project M. I mean, I have a whole note on Pokemon Prism, which we're absolutely talking about in a little bit.
All right,
so.
Yeah, well, fucking Project M got gutted by Nintendo.
What happened with that? Because I remember hearing something
which I love how
for those of us who don't know shit about, like, I like, the most I ever play of Smash is, like, when people get really drunk and I get really hyphy because I think I'm good at Duck Hunt, but I'm really not.
Yeah. The long and short of it is possible lawyer issues that no one wanted to elaborate on.
Yeah, but then like a bunch of people, because the PM dev team was sort of a shit show by that point anyways.
Yeah.
And so
most of them hated each other.
Yeah, so like people came out afterwards and were like, yeah, it was totally lawyer issues, and then other people were like, they're just trying to besmirch our name. Ugh.
And then there's like a bunch of different mod communities that just banded together all the old PM shit anyway.
Yeah, so now you
like Legacy XP. So like there's a ton of shit around still.
And I never liked
like
PM that much, anyways. But
yeah, I mostly just liked the extra content. Like I didn't really care for some of the changes they made.
Yeah.
But like I loved having extra characters in it, and which was super fun.
Yeah.
And, like, the newest versions of Legacy XP have Mario King 64 DS's Waluigi in them. And I love being able to play Waluigi in Smash.
That was such,
so, no complaints from me.
That was such a strange sequence of words that you had to put together right there.
Mario King 64 DS is the guy's username. And he made a Waluigi for Smash, and it's really good.
I'm just wrapping my head around it now.
Yeah, okay. Call out post Mario King 64 DS. Your username is a piece of shit. It's just a really fucking bad username. Why don't you just call yourself Luigi, and then everyone would understand what you're about.
Oh, man.
So we're just going to move on into a little bit of the Pokemon side game discussion that we've had tabled for like the last 6 episodes that we never got around to. Because I believe that Zane and Aury wanted to address their grievances with Super Mystery Dungeon.
Oh, God. Call out post. That game fucking sucks.
Sorry, one more time. I was going through my Smogon history, and it's amazing. One more time. Just say it again.
Super Mystery Dungeon.
Okay. Let's get some shit started here. All right. Smogon Mystery Dungeon. I can't stop thinking about these messages. Super Mystery Dungeon is literally the worst 3DS game I've ever played in my life. I am not being hyperbolic here.
Awful.
It is so
I would agree with that. Yeah, and you beat it.
Are
Aury,
you
I'm
kidding
assuming,
me?
right?
I
You
couldn't even.
finished
I
it?
like got to the Voidlands and I was done. I was like, that's it.
Oh, you didn't even
No, I
finish
couldn't.
it.
It was
Oh,
ass.
God.
It was
Okay.
complete dicks.
Oh, it's so bad. It hurts so bad because the original 2 Mystery Dungeon games are fucking amazing. They're like so good. And I mean, there's more than 2, but you know, like Red and Blue, and then Time, Space,
Yeah.
and Sky. I fucking love those games. They're like actually sort of hardcore dungeon crawlers with Pokemon. It's like really like they are the most hardcore, quote unquote, for hardcore gamers, like games in the entire series. And Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon is like the exact opposite of that in every single way.
So fucking garbage.
See, I feel like a dumb fuck for never having played any
The
of
first couple
those.
ones are they're perfect games, but it's just like, oh my god, it's so fucking bad.
All right. Okay, so like explain, because there are like
What are the grievances?
Okay, so in the original like Mystery Dungeon games, the way you recruit Pokemon, it's like really fucking random, and you just have to like grind for it. You go to a dungeon, and after you defeat a Pokemon, it randomly might join you, and there are items you can get that will increase the chance of them joining you. For you to get a legendary to join you, you have to do like a 60-floor dungeon over and over again, and hope that it decides to join you. And it's awesome. Like, you fucking live for that shit. It's great. In Super Mystery Dungeon, you take missions, and then when you finish the mission, the Pokemon joins you. So literally, the second Pokemon you get to join you is a level 55 Salamence.
What? That's a bit much.
And that's before you've gotten a Bagon or a Shelgon, and like you can't get more of those Pokemon and then evolve them or anything. You just have one of each. And then in addition, if you use that Salamence, because it's so much higher leveled than you, it'll like penalize you and not let you use it until later. So you have basically what ends up happening is you have no emotional connection to any of your party members because they just randomly join you throughout the story. And they're all way higher leveled than you or way lower leveled than you. And if they're lower leveled, there's no incentive to train them because they'll never evolve. And you'll just get their evolution eventually. It's just like a horrible game.
It's just bad.
Man. And I own that game now.
Also, the experience curve is just horrendously bad. When you finish the game, because I have beaten the game, when you finish the game, you're level 32.
Oh.
That's ass.
Jesus.
Yeah,
so low.
it's so awful. Like, honestly, I played through that game all the way just so I could have a formulated opinion on how much I hate it, and I truly, truly, truly despise that game. I think it's like one of the worst games I've ever fucking played. Call out. Fuck Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon.
Man, that's what I do with so much media. Like, okay, there was one time that there was like this contest between 2 webcomics as to which one would win like some manner of nebulous prize that didn't fucking matter at all. And it was between Gunner Creek Court and Goblins. Huge fan of Gunner Creek
I
Court.
remember this, Matt. Oh.
So I'm like, fuck Goblins, god awful comic. And then a bunch of people, chuckle fucks, came out of the woodwork like, bet you haven't even read Goblins. It's a really deep comic. And you know what I fucking did? I spent 8 hours reading the entire archives of Goblins. And then I said, fuck you, it's a terrible comic with a bad rape plot in it.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. I remember.
And I still read Goblins out of some weird desire to hate myself.
That's like the most Matt thing I've ever heard before. You like read a webcomic and then you still read it, because that was like 4 years ago, when that whole shit was going down.
Almost five entire years now. Mind you, Goblins has updated like a total of 7 times since then. Because that guy cannot keep a comic schedule going.
Holy shit. Fuck.
Man, what are some of your guys' other favorite like Pokemon side games? Because like I honestly was a big fan of Pokemon Snap and kind of wished that the Pokefinder stuff was more robust.
Whoa, we got some out there opinions that here. Matt liked Pokemon Snap. What a weeb! That game's great.
Hey, how about fuck both of you and talk about things that you like?
Pokemon
I'm a
Snap's
big fan
great.
of Call of Duty. You know, good games. You ever play any of those?
Man, I read a fanfic that was basically Call of Duty with Pokemon once. It was like, what if Pikachu?
No
had
offense,
a
but I'm
gun?
stopping this conversation. Jesus Christ. Good shit.
I'm really mad that they haven't put Pokemon Puzzle League on the Wii U Virtual Console.
Oh, that is
yet.
a great spin-off game. Oh, you know what else was fucking great? Okay, actually, I have a lot of spin-off Pokemon games I fucking love. Original Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire, fucking amazing.
Yep.
So good. So good.
I'm still mad that like no portable games are being released for the 3DS Virtual Console.
I know.
I've made this complaint on more than half the episodes of this show.
Yeah. As the only
I'm
viewer
mad.
to ever listen
I
to
hate it.
every episode.
Yeah. It's just Zane. That's why you're allowed on the show.
Wait, did we talk about Ranger?
We didn't because I've never
Ranger
played
I
it.
liked. I only played the first one, but I liked it a lot.
It gets progressively worse, but the first one's really good. Yeah, I could go on a whole nother rant about the Ranger series, but I will not.
I mean, the primary reason to play Ranger was just to get like the event Pokemon for 4th gen.
That was how you got Manaphy, was by playing Pokemon
God, that
Ranger.
was the worst.
Yeah, and it's also one of the ways you can get Darkrai because if you in case you missed the event in Platinum.
Yeah. But actually my favorite Pokemon spin-off game of all time, and I've replayed this game countless times since I first played it, is Pokemon Trading Card
Oh
game,
shit, it's so good! Oh my god!
It's
so fucking good.
Yeah, that is like one of my favorite games of all time. It has Imakuni in it!
It's the fucking best.
Imakuni is probably like, as far as best Pokemon characters go, up there in the list.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish they'd just fold them into the main series games for fun, but as far as I understand, like, Imakuni is like a guy who has a character who just happens to be part of the card game for nebulous reasons.
No, he's like a real, like, person in
that's what I mean.
In the world. Yeah.
He's a person who lives on Earth.
Which, like, I still wish they would bring him into, like, the series of games at some point. Just like I wish that Mirror B had a main series appearance. I fucking love Mirror
want
B.
Imakuni to fight Mirror B.
I want Imakuni to fight
That'd be
me.
the most goofy Pokemon battle of all time. I want Imakuni to take out a gun.
Hold on, okay, we're getting really distracted. We need to roll through the rest of this because we need to get to questions. It's already
We have to
hour.
get to the Fakemon discussion because we have Zane on the show this week.
Yeah, but I still have so many things in my call-out note on my phone that I need to.
Why don't you? Okay, so why don't you do like rapid fire sports radio? Just like rattle through them really fast.
Okay. All right. Call out post. My 7-year-old brother got him his first Pokemon game. Never saves. Only wants to heal with healing items. Doesn't nickname his Pokemon. This note is named Volkswagen Jetta because I caught a Gibble today and it was female and I named it Volkswagen because I was going to name it Jet, but it was a girl, so I named it Jetta, but then I was like, who makes Jettas? And it's Volkswagen. Call out post. Shiny Crocodile. The ugliest fucking shiny in existence. I caught a shiny Crocorock and I looked at what it evolved into and I was extremely, extremely angry. Look up shiny Crocodile. It's so ugly.
I'm literally
two of my friends
This is my favorite.
Two of my friends have caught shiny Fearos. And shiny Fearo looks like you fucking threw up on a bird.
Yeah, it's green and terrible. Call out post. Patrick Scarborough, Patrick Scarizard, fight me, you fucking bitch. I will fucking destroy you in Smash 4, in Melee. I don't even play Smash 4, but my Marth will destroy you.
Here's the thing, though. Okay, real question here. Why do you keep getting your shit rocked by a Donkey Kong?
Because I don't play Smash 4.
Destroyed! Ooh! Save it for next time, Zane!
Alright, whatever. More on Patrick Scarborough. He looks like Dad Bowser from that one Nintendo commercial from 3 years ago.
He does!
Look up Dad Bowser, and
He
then look
literally is
up
Dad
Bowser with
Bowser.
glasses, and then look up Patrick Scarborough /Scarizard at Scarizard on Twitter. They're the exact same person. Also, he didn't talk about Pokemon for the entire episode. It was still like one of the best episodes, but yeah. Fuck you, Patrick.
It was also the worst sounding one because we used a different recording thing.
Yeah, just garbage.
More shout outs. Postgame of Thrones. I don't even listen to your podcast, but these guys fuck with you, so fuck you guys. Shout outs. Shout outs. Looker's Krogunk. In Pokemon Generations, Looker's Krogunk punches a Heatran in the face and knocks it like 60 feet into the air. Call out as fuck. Yeah.
Hold on. I need to run a damage calc
hold
on
on.
that. How much? Let's see if this can actually happen.
Zane, can we cut off your callouts to talk about Pokemon Generations for a bit? Because I feel like
that's fine.
if we don't talk about it here, we're never going to talk about it because Aury's never going to watch it.
That's totally fine because my final callouts are on both of you guys, so that can come later on.
Yeah, that can come at the end of the episode.
Yeah,
That's perfect. But yeah, Pokemon Generations was like in wildly varying quality. how are some of the voice actors so bad?
Oh my god, the voice acting is so awful in like the first few episodes. The quality gets way better as the series goes on. You can literally look like in episode 5 or something, one of the Gen 2 episodes, you have Looker and his hair is like as big as the fucking screen. He looks like fucking Sonic the Hedgehog.
Have you watched Mob Psycho 100?
Yeah.
It's like it's Reagan's fucking wig. Not Reagan. What's his name? The kid.
No, yeah, the
I can't remember his name right now. Yellow-haired kid.
Mob Psycho 100 so far long ago.
The kid's like the wig he puts on after Mob fucks up his hair.
Yeah.
And is that he has until the end of the last episode. That is what Looker looks like through that whole episode. Mind you, Silver's voice actor was fine in that episode.
Silver.
The voice
that is what I was thinking as well. Yeah. I marathoned all of those before this recording to be able to talk about them.
Drayden's beard still makes no goddamn sense.
Yes, Drayden's beard is hilarious. There's also one of the funniest things in all of Pokemon Generations is they do the fucking scene from Black and White where all of the gym leaders show up to fight Team Plasma, and they do the stereotypical like every gym leader has a catchphrase thing, but Bryson or whatever the ice dude's name is just shows up and punches people over and over again and growls and does nothing else.
Okay, so a Krogunk with a choice band, 252 EVs in attack, and an adamant nature can one-hit KO and Heatran. So it looks like you need to watch more carefully, or at least figure out your fucking EV spread, you fucking scrub.
Thanks, Aury.
Yeah, I bet Looker doesn't really seem like the type to EV.
Looker does not fuck around, okay? He is min-maxed to hell. He plays Dark Souls. That's how fucking much he loves it.
Oh, God.
I mean, isn't the Ultra Beast hunt basically Dark Souls?
Oh, God, you're right.
Isn't it basically Dark Souls?
Holy shit.
Yeah, you have to sneak up right behind fucking Pheromosa and hit RB, and it'll do a crit. That's the only way to kill it.
Yeah. That's basically it about Generations, though. Like, I feel like it was a really fun experiment. It was a good way to get into the story stuff that they weren't going to put into the anime because of, like, you know, having to have Ash around all the fucking time.
Yeah. No, I liked it, and I do have to say, as wildly varying as they were in quality, I do, like, appreciate that they were different. Like, you go from one episode where they're doing, like, the almost Pokemon special thing of the Elite Four being, like, pretty clearly evil, to, like, in the next episode, Lance is, like, doing his I'm saving the Gyarados thing. My Dragonite
Dragonite wrecking shit was fun.
That was awesome. The last thing I do want to say about Pokemon Generations is that in the aforementioned Looker episode, which is like the best episode, they have that one fucking throwaway character from Platinum, Buck, who's like Flint's kid or whatever.
Yeah. My name's Buck, and I like to fight.
Buck,
he has the worst voice actor in the whole series.
And he literally says "dude" every single sentence.
Yep.
At one point, he's like, "I'm gonna put the Magma Rock back," and Looker says something to him that's like, "How are you gonna do that?" And Buck just goes, "Claydol is amazing." And then he finishes putting the Magma Rock back, and he goes, and Looker's like, "You're a very talented Pokemon trainer," because Looker is like a real person in this episode, and Buck goes, "I'm an amazing dude."
Yeah, that was like otherwise that episode was fine, but every time Buck opened his fucking mouth, I'm just like, I want to die.
Oh, it was so fucking good. Oh my god. Also, they have the Team Magma admin do like some disgusting anime shit, and I hated it.
Yeah, that was really bad. The whole Magma, the Magma and Aqua episodes were both bad, actually.
Yeah, they both sucked.
They were not good.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because, like, they had Courtney in there, and she's, like, my favorite.
Yeah, and then they made her, like, fucking go, like, ah!
Yeah, they did that whole thing with her.
Yeah, it was awful.
They made her into, like, I want to see what you're like. Let's play.
Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah, fuck that.
Okay,
we're gonna
wait, real
quickly.
quick. Before we move on to questions,
what's up?
I think Zane should probably do our callouts so that I don't end the episode upset.
That's fine. But we're not moving to questions yet. We have one more thing.
One more thing. You have Fakemon, that's right, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
because I want to talk about
You can
Fakemon
fix this
just
in
a little
post, that's
bit.
fine.
Yeah, we have the unused. If you want to just open the link there to unused type combos.
Yeah. Okay, I'm scrolling down to it. Where the fuck is it? Oh,
It's highlighted. Come on, man.
It's the one that's a link to Fakemon.
I see it. Come on, Aury. Give me a break.
Another
All right.
Come on.
Unused type combinations. This is something Matt always wants to talk about, and I mean it's good. And most of your Fakemon, like, I feel like most of your Fakemon creations in the past few years have literally just been you being like, what's an unused type combination that we can use here?
Yeah, most of the ones I did for Factory weren't.
No, not for Factory. No.
Because I literally had 2 grass fightings for Factory.
Good.
Because my avocado fighter was grass fighting, and my tree... My Whomping Willow Maple Tree was grass fighting.
Yeah. Oh god, the Whomping Willow, that was a great one.
He's so good, and he's in Rob's preliminary list for the Showdown Battler, which is good.
Ooh, okay.
It's like the best thing I ever made.
I forgot. I have another call out really quick. Call out Pokemon for not making a toucan Pokemon until this gen, and then for it being worse than the fake toucan Pokemon I made 6 years ago.
Fucking true.
I actually, one thing I really like about Toucanon, which is something I've brought up before, is just how funny he looks at all times because of how angry he looks.
Yeah.
And then just the fact that Beak Blast
that I knew.
has higher priority than Fake Out, so can burn Fake Out users even if Toucanon is asleep.
Oh, it's so good.
He could be fully asleep and he could still heat up his beak and burn someone trying to fake him out.
Yeah, there's your
baller.
There's your swimming goggles, bitches.
Yeah. Man, swimming goggles. Oh, that takes me back. But yeah, like other than the ones that are like normal combinations, which are always hard to get working right, except normal Ghost. Best idea I ever had for normal Ghost was a groundhog who can see its own shadow.
Oh,
and the
that's
shadow
amazing.
is a ghost.
Some of these are just stupid. Like Ice Bug, we've already talked about, but Rock Ghost is so easy.
Rock Ghost is so
Rock
easy.
Ghost, retype Spiritomb.
God, retype Spiritomb. Like any sort of possessed rock thing. Easter Island head that is, if Probopass didn't exist. Any
Fire Fairy is a fucking gimme, because it's fucking, like, you can just make, like, a fucking, that's like 40 different types of D&D characters.
Man,
like,
that reminds me. Okay, Fire Fairy actually dovetails into one of our questions that I want to just get into now so we don't have to mention it later. In that, Blake asked why wasn't Celebi retyped to Grass Fairy? And that's like most of the like cute legendaries would work better as fairy types than they ever did as psychic types.
Yeah.
Like, Mew works as a psychic type, Celebi works better as a fairy, Jirachi works better as a fairy, Victini works better as a fairy. Like, literally all these things worked better as fairy types than they do. And then, of course, like, the fucking Lake Guardians from Sinnoh.
Yeah, which are literally, they're called the Pixies.
Yeah, they're fucking pixies. Like, they literally work way better as fairy types and would be better as fairy types because no one uses any of them anymore. Because they're all fucking garbage now.
Although, to counter that argument, which I do agree with, I think that they could function as, like, Psychic Fairy because Uxie's whole thing is that it's, like, a mind Pokemon and Azelf's thing is, like, knowledge or whatever.
Yeah. Like, they could all be Psychic Fairy as far as, like, but, like,
yeah.
They seemed really reluctant to retype legendaries, and I think they should have, had a little more imagination there.
Yeah. I do like that Game Freak has been putting in a bunch of normal / whatever type Pokemon in the past, like, 2 gens. That's when they've been adding that, which is something I always thought would be cool. And I like that.
Because, they seemed, like, allergic to doing that before.
Yeah. Dark Fairy is, like, there's so many easy things you can do with, like, a split personality Pokemon, or, like...
My favorite idea for Dark Fairy was just literally a goblin.
Oh, yeah. That's perfect.
Easy.
Like, just right there.
Yeah. But
another one of our questions was regarding Fire Grass. That was also from Blake. Fire Grass is easy, and I don't know how they didn't get a goddamn Tiki in there.
Yeah.
Like, that's just... It was sitting right there. It's like the fact that Blossom wasn't in Alola, and... Lunatone and Solrock weren't in Sun and Moon.
Yeah, although there is that Easter egg where if you show the one guy in the desert, he'll give you, like, a moonstone. Like, the dumbest side quest ever.
Yeah. Like, you can get so many moonstones from Pelago, which is, like, the last thing I want to go to after we finish the Fakemon section, because there's one more thing I wanted to get into, which was fake types.
Oh yeah, fake types. I honestly was never a huge proponent of fake types back on because Pokemon Factory had 3 of them.
Yeah, which I'm glad they worked those down.
Yeah.
Because Pokemon Factory only ever had one forever.
Yeah.
They had Magic. Magic was always around, and they were extremely resistant to my suggestion to bring Light and Wind on board.
Yeah.
But then they eventually did it, and, like, it worked out for a while, but those were, like, Wind was done before the physical special split,
Right, and
is basically functionally useless
it's
after that split happens.
especially with Tornadus being a single flying like embodiment of wind.
Which, okay, on that note, when they did that, why didn't they retype cast form?
Because cast form
Because
is
they're
like
ass and they're bad.
well, no, because
like you know
cast
the
form's
answer
like
to this question.
because cast form's like cast form like morphs into different stuff, and it's also an artificially created Pokemon.
I still think it should be flying. Like, pure flying would have worked so well for it. And they should
Maybe.
probably do, like, a cloud that's pure flying.
Here's another
at some
question
point.
about cast form: why does it have tits? I don't know.
It's got balls, Zane. It's balls.
One thing that I always thought with cast form is, like, what if Forecast, in addition to changing its ability, if it was holding, like, the specific rock that extends weather, it would turn it also into, like, drizzle and shit.
That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be fucking awesome. Cast
Because
form's-
then, like, it would still be, like, a shitty Pokemon as far as its stats go, but it would be, like, marginally more useful that way.
Cast form's in that
Like,
long line of Pokemon that are like, this Pokemon has a cool gimmick and it's useless, like Chatot.
Yeah. But, like, see, the thing with that is, it would be a very, very small programming change that would give it a massive increase in, like, usability.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, literally, it would just be able to launch any weather.
Yeah, it'd be
and
awesome.
it would be unpredictable. I mean, like, since there's team preview, you could generally tell which one it's going to be.
Yeah.
But, like, it would allow it an actual, like, entry into the metagame, and that's something we should totally theorem on that channel.
Yeah, I agree.
Other fake types that exist that could all have, like, a little fun with them, like Light and Wind, where, like, Light was, like, it basically just got absorbed into Fairy, and I'm really glad that Nintendo went with Fairy.
Yeah.
Because functionally it absorbed Light and Magic.
Yeah.
And those are two of the more, like, prominent Fakemon types that are out there.
Yeah.
And also it got Cosmic too.
Yeah,
Cosmic was one that you didn't see very much of, but, like, it was still around.
Right, especially after Gen
Like,
3. It was sort of like people wanted to do... It started before that with people wanting to make space Pokemon, but then people are like, why are Jirachi and Deoxys psychic type?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So give them Cosmic, give, like, Lunatone and Solrock Cosmic. But those ones, like, they kind of work with Psychic anyway, so it's fine. Nuclear only really exists
Right.
in Uranium,
Right.
which, like, it's kind of like shadow typing in the way it's built, in that it's super effective against all things, but resists itself.
I know some
that's
websites have
pronounced
crystal
nuclear.
crystal type. Crystal is
Yeah,
like
that was-
which I never liked.
That was basically just Pokemon Treasures,
Yeah.
so, like, don't call me out directly here, you fucker. It was kind of useless, and I never really cared for it.
Yeah.
It did lead to some interesting design choices, like a Crystallis bug Pokemon that was Bug Crystal, where in a way that Bug Rock just wouldn't have felt right.
Yeah, I will say, as much as I wasn't a proponent of, like, fake types, because I thought that a lot of the time when you could stretch a type... The reason I never liked fake types that much was because I thought stretching a type to, like, another interpretation of it was more interesting than using another type. But one of the Pokemon that I made for Pokemon Factory, which I mentioned earlier on my toucans, I made them as an effort to make a Pokemon that could not be encapsulated by another type. So they were toucans that had prisms for their beaks and their tail feathers and like wingtips and shit. So that was like me trying to use light type in a way that, like, you can't make that a rock type, really.
Yeah.
And it could have been normal flying, but I wanted to give them a bunch of the, like, special moves we had made for light type that were like Prism Blast or whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And then, like, the last, like, big one was the sound type comes up a lot.
That's
like
one.
People have used it. I mean, like, Pokemon Prism, which we'll talk, like, I can talk about, like, briefly. Pokemon Prism was a ROM hack that had been in development for over 10 years and got shut down by Nintendo literally 3 days before it launched.
Yep.
Because this guy who wanted to, like, release this fan game he'd been building for years decided to put out a fucking trailer for it. Which, naturally, in, like, the clickbait journalism that is all journalism, but especially games journalism, it got picked up by, like, every single major site and brought way more attention than it ever should have gotten. But basically, Pokemon Prism had, like, 4 or 5 fake types. Like, they had Gas type, which was, like, triple bad to fire. It had Wood. Like, it had a lot of really weird ones in there.
Yeah.
And all of them were retypes of existing Pokemon because it had no new Pokemon in it, which was one thing I really liked about Prism. is that it was all original Pokemon, but it also like used like little Gen 4 mechanics like the physical special split. Like it was a technical marvel. Like it was a very, very impressive hack. And if you want to find it, it still exists on the web and you can easily find it without any trouble whatsoever. The last thing I want to touch on before question was playing Pokemon Moon in French, or rather the two greatest highlights of playing Pokemon Moon in French. One is that French puns are just super fun.
They're great, aren't they?
Like Aury, you've also played Pokemon games in French before, correct?
Yeah, they're fantastic.
How good is it that Delibird is called Cadoiseau?
It's so fucking good.
All right,
have you got a grimer yet?
For the non-Frenchies?
For the non-French speakers, cadeau is present and oiseau is bird.
Okay.
And it's just a really good sounding portmanteau. But then also when they just decide to eschew puns completely and just go for, say, sleep talk, which in French is called Blabla Dodo.
Yes, that's correct.
It's fucking incredible.
Have you caught a grimer yet? Have you learned what that name is in French?
Oh, you mean a tadmor?
Yes. Do you know what that means?
What does it mean?
It means a pile of snot.
Isn't that just great?
Tadmor is a pile of snot. Yes, that's correct.
Oh, it's so good.
It's wonderful.
And yeah, like the names are all really good, and even like existing, like the older Pokemon when they were less creative with it, like Bulbasaur is Bulbizarre. And, like, that's just great. It's just, like, a very nice name.
The first-gen ones are actually a lot better than, like... Because we've talked about FM in German. That's Neubat, which is literally just, like, just FM. But, like, Golduck in French is Aquaquac, which is... I don't even know what that means, but,
That's
like...
amazing!
It's great.
And, well, Psyduck is Psychoquack.
Yes. But, like, even German has good ones. Drowsy is... Traumato, which is it's like Traum is like the German root for dream, but it also starts Traumatisch, which is like traumatic. And,
nice. That's a really good one.
Yeah, like and then there's shit like Lickitung, which is just Schlurp. It's great.
Oh my god.
Well, see, the thing with those, like, I think what makes the pun game better in the non-English language games is that often the English language will use other languages' root words to form its pun.
Yeah. It's great.
Whereas those ones will use their own languages.
It's fantastic.
Because you won't end up with really awkward names that way. Because it'll feel more natural in your language.
Questions.
It's time for the questions on Elite Full Restore.
No,
we're having a good time with our friend Zane, even though he's calling us out. He's calling us out on the radio. Our first question's from Bonsai
Yikes!
Robin.
Oh wow! Can we just circle back to that real quick?
What?
You doing okay? Yeah. You need a breather?
You okay, man? That was amazing.
Have you guys never listened to the Flophouse before?
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
That's how he announces all his letters, and I do that. I love doing
that.
But
the first question is actually one we've answered a couple different times now, but I want Zane to answer. Who should have gotten an Alolan form?
Okay. I mean, this one's not really... This is, like, not really true. Tropius doesn't need an Alolan form, but why is Tropius not affected in any way by Alola when it's like should be there? I don't know. That's one that I think should be in there. What else? This actually isn't something I've thought about that much. And this is outside of Kanto too, right?
You can do
you can go anywhere.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I really would have liked to see an Alola form for? Although, are there any single stage Alola forms?
There's ones that are part of branches, and they're the only one that's different.
Right, but
there's no single stage.
Right, okay, so, like, I would have liked to see something like, I'm just going with all of my Pokemon that I, like, wish had a little love, but, like, Stantler is one that you could do a cool Alola form with.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Like, what if it's, like, Pyrokinesis Stantler? Because Stantler was always, like, a weird psychic type almost, but it wasn't really a psychic type. It
was kind of ghosty because it was almost named Scaraboo, which is something we've gone over before.
Scaraboo. That would have been amazing.
Would have been a much better name.
Yeah.
Stantler? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Another one that I would have loved to see an Alola form for would be like I don't know, like Breloom, I think you could do some cool stuff with just any plant-based Pokemon, making it more tropical and warm weather. You can do some cool stuff with, and like amorphous body types for it. And I fucking love Breloom. Breloom's like my homie.
It's just good.
Yeah, it's a good one.
He's a good boy.
Good boy.
I kind of hope they continue regional variations if they do any other like far-flung, geographically isolated regions. Like if they did like an Australia Pokemon, then like you could go
some
to
spider
town,
shit, like
just making everything venomous and huge.
Yeah, like gigantic Galvantula thing. Well, wait, no. What type of crab is
Crabrawler is definitely based on a
It is a coconut crab, right? Yeah.
Well, I guess
I don't know what.
And then like the Yeti crab is what Crabominable is based off of. So like, it's funny because it's a deep sea crab, but you can only evolve it at the top of a mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
funny,
so
silly.
At the end of the game, so fun.
Well, it's like I'm just finishing my living dex right now, and I'm like giving myself the restriction that I have to catch the Pokemon myself, and the fact that Drampa isn't caught till like right before the league is super fucking annoying to me.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah.
What else could have a cool Alola form? I don't know. There's so many. I have to admit it's not something I've thought about that much because I fucking love like pretty much every Alola form they did and who they chose to give it to. I think they're all super, super cool.
Man, even Alolan Persian's grown on me.
Yeah. Dude, I love Alolan Persian.
It's been the MVP of my moon run.
Oh.
I love its little fat face.
I don't know, just like things that could be spiced up, like Dugong, warm weather Dugong. There's seals in Hawaii, those exist.
Yeah, exactly. Like there was a lot of potential. I'm always kind of disappointed that there's so few of them.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're like they could easily introduce Pokemon mid-gen. Like they've never done it before, but they've been breaking their conventions like left and right. Like the fact that like Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire weren't like mutually compatible with X and Y because of the new Pokemon moves and whatnot they added.
Yeah.
Which before they just hide it in the code, but now they know the data miners are so bad that they just don't put it in there.
Yeah.
Or they consider things later. So who knows? They might break their own convention there. Our next question. Shoeless asks, what would Mega Mr. Mime look like?
Oh, man.
Hell? Like, it would just look like hell. Like, what... I'm thinking like you could either go like the Harlequin route, which would be fucking terrifying.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Or just the hands.
Oh, shut up. Oh god. No, because you could. Oh god. Now I'm looking at flavor moves. This was.
I want Mega Mr. Mime. I want there's that one CAP Pokemon Fidget.
Oh yeah.
Like
oh god.
Hands.
That was my fucking nightmare. Oh
okay,
god.
you guys want my description?
Yeah, go for it.
Have you guys seen Spy Kids?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So you know like Floop from Spy Kids, played by Alan Cumming?
So mad at you.
No, sorry, not Floop. His henchman. The henchman that gets his head turned into a bunch of heads.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
That guy.
The end of the podcast.
That's what I want it to look like.
God.
I'm thinking Mega Mr. Mime should be like a Metacham looking ass. Like I like the multi-hands things, but I think he could probably like learn like Force Palm and shit like that. I think that'd be cool.
I mean,
but it would also be a nightmare, and I'd never buy that game. So
I'm just looking up for Delia after that. That's Ash's mom's name, right?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Delia.
Was that like I don't want to think about what that implies. So.
It's a ship that exists. Don't worry about it.
I'm not thinking about it. What did I just fucking say, Matt?
What's
hey,
the...
Aury. Hey, Aury, don't think about the fact that there's an Ash's mom, Mr. Mime ship.
I'm looking it up right now. I'm looking it up right now.
We'll continue with the questions while you do that. Taking turns at random asks, are there any Pokemon whose name you refuse to pronounce correctly, or incidents of hearing people say names in a completely wrong way?
Call out post, Matt Ribeiro. You can't pronounce Pokemon's names. This is
okay. Which one specifically?
Okay, there are multiple. I've written them down from listening to your things. You say slacking, slaking.
That's correct.
I knew that one.
You say
slaking
genesect.
Is right.
You say genesect, genesect.
Yep.
You were saying...
These are all ones I've formerly acknowledged and refused to say the way they say
I know.
Because Genesect, the whole bit is that it's a genetically modified Pokemon. I'm gonna say Gene. I'm gonna pronounce the goddamn Gene. And don't even bother to say Arceus, because fuck Arceus. I'm gonna say Arceus because it's funny. It sounds like a butt.
That one I do.
Okay,
too.
call out post, Zane. You don't say Ariados, it's Ariados. Like, it's not...
No, fuck off.
No,
That's so
fuck
stupid.
you.
Why is it?
It's wrong, is what it is.
Why is it Ariados?
It's not fucking this girl is a fucking spider. That's not how you fucking pronounce the name.
Wait, I'm so confused. I've never thought about like the genesis of whatever its name is. Like, why is it Ariados?
It's Ariados.
Why?
That's how you fucking pronounce it.
Do you have any reasoning for this?
Do you?
No. So
I didn't think so. Next.
Okay. Next one. These are all ones that Ori has called Matt out on. But Marini, which you said Mariani.
Yeah, I
is
just
it Marini?
No
I didn't
idea.
actually know on that one. I just wanted to write him up
because it's like meanie. It's like meanie.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't.
Yeah. And then
if I've never heard, if it's a 7th gen one, it just totally does not count.
Yeah, that one.
Because I've never heard anyone official say it out loud.
Yeah,
but the last one, which Ori did not call you out for, you said Honedge as Onedge.
That was just
my
aesthetic. He's foreign. I can't correct him on things like that. I'll get in trouble. I'm white. I'm not allowed to do that.
My own edge.
My own edge.
My own edge.
That's pretty good now that I think about it.
I feel like that one's got to be some kind of like learning French as a child.
Yeah, no shit.
Like
but it's
still gotta
hilariously
Honedge.
Okay, well, that question just turned into a call-out. Was that your existing call-out, or was that a new call-out?
Yeah, taking turns at random is his ghost account.
It was part of my existing call-out.
Okay, good. We're going to move on to the next question, then.
Yeah.
Fandoms Hate Black People asks, why was Gen 5 so doo-doo? Unova, more like you never should play this game.
I love Gen 5, and this is a terrible question. Gen 5 is actually, like, the best Pokemon games, and people who don't think that or know that are...
Hey Zane, quick question. How does it feel being so wrong all the fucking
Alright, what's the best gen, Ori?
It's fucking Gen 2.
Gen 2 is correct, but...
God. Come on.
Like, that's
Gen
not
2
even a fucking... Like, it's not a question.
I got
what
Gen
are your
2
gripes
with, the fucking,
with Gen 5?
This is like ranking Kanye albums. No one's ever right, and everyone gets mad at each other. Okay.
Alright.
Gen 5's the worst. Gen 4's second. Like, second worst.
Wait, whoa.
No. I'm sorry. I have it
4?
backwards. It goes, okay, in order. Fuck, I need to get it on paper. Come back to me.
Oh my god. Okay, listen, Gen 5 is great. It's like it's really fucking weird, but I think so many of the things they did in that game, like, this is a serious thing. I think so many of the things that they did in Gen 5 are awesome, and they abandoned all of them. Like, the fact that you're at level, like, 75 when you take on the Elite Four and Pokemon don't evolve till level 65 is fucking amazing. Like, that's metal as fuck.
Mind you, that's super annoying in the newer games, because, like, trying to evolve a Vullaby when like things scale to like level 60 is really bad.
Which is
like
why...
in that game it wasn't so bad because there was a lot of really, really good opportunities to get experience between like the White Tree and the Black Tower and like the Elite Four being all high leveled and the Join Avenue in Black 2 and White 2.
And then the athletes. You go fight the athletes in the Electric
Yeah, you can just go
City.
fight the athletes every day. Like there were so many places to level up that it didn't particularly matter.
Yeah.
But then like in Sun and Moon you have like 3 options and most of them you can only do like pretty infrequently.
Right.
And of course, battling wild Pokemon is always extremely inefficient.
Right. And that's additionally a failure on Sun and Moon's part, although I will agree that like yeah, that sucks because of Gen 5. But it's why they should have stuck with it cuz that's fucking cool.
I am glad that like one thing that they did abandon from Gen 5 but then brought back was the fact that lower level Pokemon gain experience better from higher level Pokemon.
Which is just
like they brought back the experience curve that you get from that. The only thing is that like if you don't have high level opponents to battle, it kind of fizzles out by the end. But that's why they added Join Avenue, and like it's a function of Festival Plaza, but it's too hard to actually get useful.
Yeah, I mean that's just a thing where it's like I feel like Gen 5 did a lot of modernizations like that were just really, really like good.
Well, they introduced TMs not being not expiring.
which was fucking amazing, and it wasn't experience all like in Gen 5 too.
That was Gen 6.
No, Gen 6. Yep.
Okay, that's
okay. So in order,
lucky eggs.
In order, 2, 6, 7, 1, 3, 5, 4.
Okay, at least 4 is last. That's fine.
All right.
I wouldn't rank 3 that low, and I'm also not gonna like try to.
I think
your
that 1 and
rankings. It would
3
take too
are
long.
probably the same, but I put it like that. That was my initial thought. I
love
flavor wise, I love 1, but I can't stand most of its mechanical shortcomings.
I love 3, but like I know that it's coming from a place of nostalgia for 3 too.
I like it a lot, but I can't rank it that high. Just
I really do like it.
I think like actual game design wise, like 5, aside from the map being the worst of any Pokemon game, which I fully acknowledge.
Yeah, that's true.
Fully acknowledge that. The map is awful, the region itself sucks, but in terms of like game design and leveling up and being high level, and even the like, I love that a ton of the Pokemon are new retakes on like old concepts, like Swoobat and Golbat and all that shit. Like I love that. It's really good. I love Gen 5.
No, I'm not knocking the Pokemon themselves. I really liked a lot of this.
Yeah,
I just like the game and the structure of it was just the word. Like,
that was like one of my
awful.
favorite things. Going through like I've mentioned these a couple of times before, but this guy Bogleach, who has a Tumblr account, and like just generally does monster reviews all the time, is going through every Pokemon, is currently in Gen 6, just reviewing them, and there were so many 5-star ratings in Gen 5 for just like completely outlandish concepts or better takes on things that had been done before.
Yeah.
Like technically, like Pidgeotto, Pidgeot aren't pigeons. So the fact that they gave us an actual pigeon was super nice.
That then turns into a pheasant. And Unpheasant is like one of the best names of any Pokemon ever. I love that
that's pretty
name.
good.
I'm kind of sad that they stopped doing gender dimorphism in 6th gen. Like, there's not really any new ones anymore. Because that was always really fun. Like, there was like the 2 different psychic cats, but that's about it.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But like gender dimorphism was one of my favorite parts of 4th gen that they kind of ditched.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think 5th gen was really, really great. Even from a game design, like from a devoid of the Pokemon, I was there for like the more serious story and it being based on that and N and all that shit. Even though it was goofy because it's like a Pokemon game, like I was really down with all that. I liked it a lot. It felt fresh, which is what they were trying to do.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's
I'll
much
I'll
it.
accept that opinion, but I can't rank it that high.
One of the last questions we got in right under the wire, Jay asked in our Discord, which is the best place to ask questions because I will see it and I will not lose it. What Pokemon should be a guest character in ARMS?
Okay, Zane, I want to actually pick your brain about this. Do you remember I think it was a Brawl Minus mod or something like that, where they essentially extended the arms of every charter into their hitboxes?
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes,
okay,
because
I think Jigglypuff with
Yes.
her arms extended should be the guest character in ARMS.
It was always horrifying.
I put a
Oh my
picture of
God.
it in the Skype chat if you want to link to that
Yeah,
in the podcast description.
Please
later.
please link to that because it was a Brawl Minus mod where they put every fucking character's like skins onto Captain Falcon and Ganondorf.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And it's just terrifying. It's like the most. It wasn't even Brawl Minus. It was just a Brawl mod, and it was the scariest fucking thing you've ever seen. The Pikachu one.
One was great. I loved the Pikachu one.
The Pikachu one's like basically a classic at this point.
Yeah.
It's been around
everyone's seen
forever.
that, but people don't know the origin of it, which is from that.
That's what it is.
I agree with long Puff, long Jigglypuff.
long puff and arms.
I also think Lickitung.
Oh,
God.
Okay, yeah.
Would it like bifurcate its tongue so you could have 2 arms?
Sure.
Only if it's an emo
Horrifying.
and it wants to do it.
Oh, and then also
Yeah.
Ambipom, like obviously.
Yeah, obviously. That's like the obvious answer.
Yeah.
That would be like the obvious guest character to get in there.
Yeah.
So moving on to that last question. Who is the worst starter of all time? And if your answer isn't Chimchar, please explain.
I almost wanted to answer Turtwig here, but I looked at his
So
sweet
cute, though.
sweet little face and I couldn't do
No.
it. The answer is Chespin.
Yeah. it's
Chimchar's
Chespin.
a close second, but Chespin is bad.
Like we're speaking purely on first form, right?
Yeah,
we're not
purely on
going,
first
like, We're
form.
not looking. We're not going into evolutions. We're not going into competitive viability.
No,
just
no,
first.
just
No,
first
because I
form,
really
just
like
design.
I like Infernape a lot, but
Infernape's sick.
I think Chimchar's pretty cute.
I also think Monferno is really cool.
He's okay.
It's one of the rare middle forms that strikes a good balance.
Well, and the blue and gold look really nice on Monferno in
Yeah.
a way that's still there on Infernape, but like, well, is there? Yeah, but still.
A little bit.
I fucking
So Chespin,
yeah, Chespin sucks. Fuck Chespin.
Chespin's bad.
just straight up, you just hate Chespin?
No, Chespin's fine, but like as a starter Pokemon, first of all, this is like a super dumb rule to have, but I feel like starter Pokemon should be pretty monochromatically the color of the type they're representing, and Chespin's brown, man. What's up with that?
Mostly brown. He's got like that green shell, doesn't he? Unless I haven't.
Yeah,
looked at it.
he
Yeah, but even, like-
does, but like,
To be fair, I'm also mostly brown, and I'm really cute.
But are you a grass type? See, that's the
same.
problem.
That's true. Only when I smoke weed.
Oh man,
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus Christ. Hey Aury, have you hit your vape yet during the episode?
Yeah, hold on. Let me do that.
Only during the usual segment. But that's pretty much it for this week. We have literally gone way over time. This is going to be our longest episode by a wide margin, and we're skipping a ton of questions, which we're going to have to move to next week, which is the standard way we do things. So we're just going to end with a quick sign-off to thank Bulbapedia.
Oh god.
Thanks, Bulbapedia, is our sign-off every week, as you may know. And I found possibly the best post ever on this one. Even better than the Stomp one.
Okay.
Quillfish is the only Pokemon that is able to learn Stockpile and Spit Up, but unable to learn Swallow. I'm Matt.
I'm Aury.
I'm Zane.
Thank
You
you
can
for
find
listening.
Zane on Twitter. You can find Zane on Twitter at ePengu.
Yeah.
Make sure to follow our Tumblr, elitefullrestore.tumblr.com. Follow our Twitter, at E4Restore. And we are also available on Discord. The link is on our Twitter.
Hey, and if you haven't left a review yet on iTunes or Android Play,
Oh God,
please do
leave
that.
us a review.
Yeah,
we have like
we
we have
love-
2 reviews.
We got
Ooh,
like
I
we got like a
should do
1-star the other day with no comments, and I'm cool with a 1-star if you just want to
Oh, did
elaborate
we?
on that. Yeah, we totally did.
Oh, that's so exciting.
It's exciting. We finally made it.
We finally have haters.
Yeah,
Oh, I
we're
love
becoming the
it.
McElroys. I can't wait.
There we go. I'm really, really excited to finally have haters. That's it. We'll see you all next time, whenever that is.